All right. I want to show you not a tool, but a workflow. And this is a workflow that I use all the time and has nothing to do with awesome special effects or crazy green screen composites, but it's something that we all have to do, and that is bullet points. And I'm not going to show you a new tool, but I'm going to show you a workflow. So here you are in your editor, you have your dialogue laid out, and you have to, either create bullet points, or possibly your client has given you a PowerPoint deck or whatever. And you can do the same. I'm pretty sure you can do the same thing I'm going to show you in PowerPoint, but I actually use Keynote. So I'm going to call up my Spotlight. There's Keynote. I'm going to launch that. And here is your theme chooser, they call it. To be honest with you, I've never even scrolled through here and looked at these because I either use white, black, or I build my own. I'm going to use the gradient today. I'm going to go slide size 1920 by 1080. Hey, how convenient. And I'm going to click choose. Now, what you get is you get your basic title slide. And if you don't know Keynote, I'm going to highly recommend you learn some about it. You can add slides, you can change masters. And what we're going to do for the purposes of this explanation, of this demonstration, is we're going to go to a title with a bullet. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here. I'm going to go page 1. I'm going to double click here to add my text. I'm going to go bullet 1. Bullet 2, whoops, yep, and bullet 3. And then I'm going to take that slide and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to change this to page 2. I'm going to call this bullet 4, 5, and 6. Simple as that. Simple little bullet page. Now, we want to do a build in our editor. We want to dissolve in on the dialogue to match it. And here's how you do that. I'm going to go down, I'm going to pull this little knurled guy down to the slide masters. I'm going to pick the one that I'm currently using. I'm going to select this hunk of text, and then I'm going to invoke the inspector. And on this third little bullet over here, this is how I affect the page. I want to build in. It doesn't matter what effect we're going to use because we're not going to see the effect. We're just going to do a dissolve sequence over in Final Cut. But I'm going to hit dissolve, and you'll notice this little icon here will show you what it's going to look like. And see how all the slides build on at once? That's a bozo no-no. So I'm down here under delivery, I'm going to do it by bullet. And you can see this little preview of what it's going to look like. Totally what I want. It doesn't matter about the duration because I'm not going to use it. I can close the slide inspector. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save my project. And I don't want to save it in the Keynote folder, but I'm going to call it, I'm going to save it in the PNG folder, and I'm going to call it, well, we'll call it slideshow. Hard to type because my mic is in the way. Slideshow, and I will save it. Now, I will do File Export, Images, and here's the most important button right here. Create an image for each stage of the build. Select the images, PNG, Next. I'm going to put them in the folder called Keynote, and I will export all of them. Now what this is going to do is it's going to make a series of stills, and if I step out into the Finder, I can see them. Here's slide 1. Here's the name of the slideshow, which is called Slideshow. It'd probably be better if it had the client name and the job number. But anyway, I have slide 1, images 1 through 4, and slide 2, images 1 through 4. Let's go to Final Cut. In my graphics folder, I'm going to create a new keyword collection, and I'm going to call it Keynote. Back to the Finder, select my stills, and drag them on top of my keyword collection. It's basically like dropping it into a bin, and now here's all my pictures. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to take the first slide worth of stills, and I'm going to drag them onto my timeline. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lasso them and hit Command G to put them in their own storyline. The reason I do that is it makes it easier when I adjust the length of something, they ripple with it, even though they're laid over the alleged video that would be down here. And I can adjust things like this. I can also do a trick called topping and tailing. So I'm going to hit play, and then and this is the end of my slide, and I hit stop. I'm going to hit Option right hand bracket. This is not going to work because I have that selected as an edit. So I'm going to select this and go right hand bracket. Option right-hand bracket. So now, there's my first slideshow. And if I play through that, we can see it go. There's bullet 1. Bullet 2 is too long for this demo, so I'm going to shorten it up. I'm going to hit play again. There's bullet 2, and then here comes bullet 3. So that's it. Now if I want to put dissolves in them, select all 4 of them, hit Command T. I actually like to cut into a slideshow, not dissolve into it, but I like to dissolve internally. So then I go bullet 1, bullet 2, and bullet 3. Simple. Now let's do that again one more time. Select all 4, pull them down, select all 4, Command G. I'm going to shorten them up. For the purposes of this demonstration, I would actually align it to my text if I was, or my dialogue if I was doing this for real. I'm going to select all 4 of these, and we'll hit Command T. And for argument's sake, let's have this one dissolve in. There's page 2, bullet 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now the important thing about this is that these things will always change. Okay, they're always going to change. So let's say the client calls and they have some updates. Okay, so I go back to Keynote, and then I do File Export. It's going to go to the same place. Keep the Create Images. I'm just going to hit Next, and I'm actually going to update all 8 of these stills right now. It'll take just a second. Boom, they're all done. And now, if I go to my timeline and I hit play, there's my first page, and there's my update. There's my update. It's really simple to make changes. I can make the same updates on page 1 if I want. Go back to Keynote, go to page 1, select my thing. I'm going to paste in my update a few times here. That did not have to have a V. I will save it. I will export into the same folder again. The same thing also with the builds. Same folder, hit export, replace the ones that are there, and Final Cut knows that they've all been replaced. So now when I come back to my timeline, immediately my updates are there. So I don't recommend using Keynote presets or templates. Learn enough about it that you can create your slides that are branded to your client. You can use their logo, their drop shadow techniques. You know, just learn a little bit about Keynote, and it becomes a really, really powerful tool for your video productions. Later.